Oh, yes, here we are. The moment is here. It is May the 7th, 2012, and Vladimir Putin is back in power in Russia. It is his third term. Matter of fact, let me just read to you. Russian newly sworn in President Vladimir Putin Monday, which is today, May the 7th, 2012, was handed the black suitcase that controls the country's vast nuclear arsenal moments after taking his oath to a third term. According to Interfax reports, the Kremlin ceremony of passing the nuclear suitcase from the outgoing leader Dmitry Medvedev to Putin was overseen by Russian defense ministers Anatoly Serdalova. In the news agency reported. That's not how you say his name, but it's close. The portable communications device uses a secret code called the Chesnik to allow the country's commander-in-chief to launch commands that could potentially trigger a nuclear attack against a foreign country. The system was first developed in 1983 and was first used by former Soviet leader Kurchenko back in 1984. Widely seen as a relic of the Cold War standoff between Moscow and Washington, the suitcase is accompanied with the Russian president on all his foreign trips. Although always remaining in the president's possession, it was briefly passed on to late Russian Prime Minister Chernomyrdin. Now, I did not say his name right. Back in October of 1996, when former leader Boris Yeltsin underwent a heart bypass operation. Dmitry held on to it for 4 years after taking over the presidency of Putin back in, Putin had 2 terms from 2000 to 2008. He was the president of Russia. Dmitry's been in charge from 2008 to 2012, and now Putin's back in power. Now, Putin will remain in power for another 8 years. You know he will. So you can know from now through 2020, Vladimir Putin will be sitting at the head of the Kremlin. He's a former KGB agent, and as the world's tensions, and right now with the Iranian situation, with the Syrian situation, with the biblical prophecies that are taking place there right now in the Middle East, with the fall of the Tunisian president Ben Ali, and the fall of the Egyptian president Hosni Mubarak, and the Libyan dictator Muammar Gaddafi, and the Yemen president Ali Saleh, and and all of these, and there's uprisings and protests still going on in Bahrain, Algeria. We don't know exactly what's going to happen even in Morocco. And then while Putin's rising to power, Nicolas Sarkozy of France is fallen out of power as he has been defeated in the election, and so there will be a new leader there in France. And so things are changing. The situations are absolutely fluid right now as it relates to world powers, world leaders. Who's going to do what? And especially this, Germany's Chancellor Merkel, she was publicly endorsing and standing with Nicolas Sarkozy. But it didn't matter. I mean, whoever heard of that? Whoever heard of a German chancellor trying to, campaign for a French leader? It's totally outside the norm, really, to get involved like that. But it's what's going on, and things are happening at light speed right now, literally. Al-Qaeda has released video of 2 American hostages that they've got held. I quickly want to read that. Also, Al-Qaeda killed 20 Yemen troops after the United States used some drones. So Al-Qaeda's fighting back. A video released yesterday on May the 6th, 2012 by Al-Qaeda as American hostages Warren Weinstein said he will be killed unless President Barack Obama agrees to a militant group's demands. My life is in your hands. the video, it says, shows him speaking in the video. My life is in your hands, Mr. President. Hang on a minute, I'm sorry. Weinstein said in a video, if you accept the demands, I live. If you don't accept the demands, then I die. Weinstein was abducted last August while in Pakistan after gunmen tricked his guards and broke into his home. The 70-year-old from Rockville, Maryland, is the country director in Pakistan for the J.E. Austin and Associates, a Virginia-based firm that advises a range of Pakistani businesses and government sectors. In a video message posted on a militant website back in December, Al-Qaeda leaders al-Zarqawi said Weinstein would be released if the United States stopped airstrikes in Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Somalia and Yemen. He also demanded the release of all Al-Qaeda and Taliban suspects around the world. Well, you know this isn't going to happen. First of all, they're not going to release everybody that's held captive right now. They're not going to hold all these prisoners of war. That's not going to happen. And second of all, they're not going to stop airstrikes on Al-Qaeda targets, Taliban targets, and maybe even Al-Shabaab or the Hamas or Hezbollah or any of these other radical Islamic militant groups. So this is the pressure. The White House had no comment today on Al-Qaeda's demands or Weinstein's plea. The Site Intelligence Group, which monitors militant messages, said that Al-Shabaab and Al-Qaeda's media arm posted the Weinstein video on jihadist forums on Sunday. It's important you accept the demands and act quickly and don't delay, Weinstein said in the video, addressing President Barack Obama. There will be no benefit in delaying. It will just make things more difficult for me. Of course the man has to say what he's told to say because they have a gun to his head or they have a machete or a sword waiting. This is not a good situation. He also appealed to Obama as a father. If the president responds to the militants' demands, Weinstein said, then I will live and hopefully rejoin my family and also enjoy my children and my two granddaughters, my two daughters, like you enjoy your two daughters. After his kidnapping, Weinstein's company said he was in poor health, provided a detailed list of medications, many of them for heart problems, that is, implored the kidnappers to give him. In the video released Sunday, Weinstein said he would like his wife Elaine, to know, I'm fine, I'm well, I'm getting all my medications, and I'm being taken care of, whether it's true or not, of course. So this is terrorism with a capital T, folks. Putin is now in charge in Russia. Sarkozy is leaving power in France, and Al-Qaeda and Al-Shabaab and Taliban and Hamas and the Muslim Brotherhood and Hezbollah and the Boko Haram, all of these radical Islamic groups are still in play as the world gets closer and closer and closer to the soon rise of an Antichrist and the establishment of a new world order, a one world government. I did my normal Sunday night live show at my website. And we had a powerful show last night, 26 salvations, an incredible, huge crowd, over 460 some at the peak. Were in the chat rooms. It was an incredible evening. And we talked about some very important information we have on the internment camps, information that I got. Also, we talked about solar flares that I received from Stephen of Oklahoma, stuff that I received info from Patty Dickerson on sinkholes in Florida, from the Joe Hagman on internment camps. Reverend Gary sent me stuff on tornadoes in Tokyo. My Lord, I have so much powerful stuff I got from Chris Monday in England. I'm going to be going over this stuff, folks. Rita of Oklahoma Did you know the second Christmas tree at the White House died again? We'll be right back. Stay with me right here on YouTube.